These charismatic moments that we had enjoyed and we found maybe amusing, we're really getting big laughs.
Come vorresti essere ricordato tra 100 anni?
My father was a tenor. You always do what your father is doing, so I'm a little tenor. My mother says, my son sings with a beautiful voice. I said, Mama, you say that because you are my mother. No, because I don't say that when I hear your father.
Luciano's voice was beautiful.
He would just open his mouth. Everything was easy. He was a nervous wreck before every performance. He would always say,
We go to die.
Can you be sure you'll hit the note?
No, that is the beauty of my profession.
He was difficult at times. He had a lot of responsibilities.
The local paper headlined, Luciano come home.
Pavarotti would attract hundreds of thousands of people. He became the global rock star.
Mr. Pavarotti, on the road, you like to have a hotel room with a kitchen, isn't that right?
I'm Fernando Escovar with FabTV, and I'm sitting here with Ron Howard, and you just finished making Pavarotti, and this film was really awesome to watch. It went by in 15 minutes for me.
Thank you, thank you. Well, look, what a great life. He's so charismatic. He's funny, and you know, one of the reasons that I included the lyrics is that when you start to understand what those songs are, what those arias are, you just recognize that it's great entertainment.
If Pavarotti were alive today, what would you ask him?
Oh man, what would I ask him? I'd be curious to know if growing up, dedicating himself to opera and the stories they tell, if they influenced like his life choices. He lived in a big kind of operatic way, and part of me wonders if the storylines ever, you know, sort of guided him in any way or influenced him.
When you were making it, and you're in the dubbing room and everything,
okay,
did you imagine, no pun intended, that there's going to be so much comedy and emotion out of this thing?
Well, as we started sharing it with audiences, that the big surprise was that these charismatic moments that we had enjoyed and we found maybe amusing, were really getting big laughs. So it's one of the things that's great about, you know, seeing it in an audience at a theater, is it not only sounds great, but it's energized because it's funny and it's getting these laughs. I was so excited when distributors around the world really wanted to release the movie in theaters, which is I hope a lot of people see it in theaters, because it's built to really be a movie experience.
Yeah, I saw it at Dolby, and in that theater with those speakers and everything, the sound was amazing. And that leads into my next question. Some of these productions that you got the footage from and sound were old and jacked up, and how did you fix the sound and all that?
Well, using digital technology, you can do a lot to repair images, to enhance them. Still, you know, these are home movies, or these are old, early, videos, vintage videos, but we used all the techniques that we could without sort of artificially, manipulating things, to just enhance it and make it a great experience for audiences, including, we did our mix at Abbey Road Studios, and we even sort of re-recorded some of his vocals in the big giant room at Abbey Road, where all the microphones were set up for the London Symphony Orchestra, and so we went in and we played some of Pavarotti's performances and recorded them in that room, so it would feel, the re-record would feel even more like a concert experience.
Like the authenticness of the surroundings
room,
and stuff.
yeah.
The room, okay. I saw the credits of all the Getty imaging and licensing of footage and everything. Is that the hardest part of making a doc?
Fortunately, I don't have to do that part.
I know, because you're Ron Howard. So.
Well, the team's working on that from the very, very beginning, and it's not until the very end that you even know that you've been able to clear all the images. It's definitely part of the discipline of making a documentary, because particularly if it's something like this, it's based on archives and interviews. There was a lot to work with, but you sort of have to let the story finally come to you. You can't really dictate what the story is going to be.
Ron, your documentary is so good. Okay, seriously.
Well, thank you.
That I'm coming out with a documentary this year, and now I'm not going to come out with it this year to compete with this thing because it's too good.
Well, that's high praise. That's the highest possible praise. I look forward to seeing yours.
Mine's called Hollywood, I'm Sorry.
Yeah.
It's about an Oscar I bought on eBay. And I bought it, and we got tuxedos and got a limo, and we hit Oscar after parties with it.
Wow.
And it's a crazy story. I put it on Craigslist, and got arrested, went to jail, court, all this stuff. So it's a true story.
Wow, fascinating.
And then there's a lot of real footage I've been having to deal with. So now I can't release it because this is yours just down. I can't win.
Well, thank you.
Last question. Were you in Modena for a lot of this stuff?
No, I wasn't. We did go and film the family, and I think I was doing the Einstein Genius for Nat Geo at the time that those people were available and we could record, or it might have been solo.
That's one of my last little question. The Nat Geo stuff, that Apollo stuff that you did and stuff, did that help your Mars project stuff too?
Definitely. I mean, one thing fuels the other when it comes to these sort of creative undertakings, and I always kind of lead with my curiosity. And then I find something in myself that kind of connects to the story, and lots of times in very surprising ways. Whether it's a movie like Rush, the Formula One movie about Niki Lauda and James Hunt, believe it or not, I found elements of myself in that story, even though I'm a terrible driver.
All your movies are operas.
Opera is drama. And when I looked at Pavarotti's life, I thought, well, he lived a very operatic life, and maybe we all do. Maybe that's what's so relatable ultimately about Luciano and even that art form of opera. Because when you start reading the lyrics and you understand the storylines, it's great entertainment and it's very relatable.
Cool. Awesome talking to you.
Likewise.
And I love all the quotes with Bono in it as well, by the way.
He was great. He was unbelievable. What he gave the movie through his understanding of music and Pavarotti, his love of Pavarotti was really remarkable.
He was crushed by injustice.
He became completely obsessed by what he could do for others.
I learned to love people.
You're a trusting person?
Are you joking? I will not exist if I don't trust people.
The reason he is great is he lived those songs. The mistakes you've made, the hopes, the desires, all that comes crashing into the performance.
Luciano was the one and only